Before the video starts, I just want to say sorry I sound a little different today, but sadly this will continue on, probably. I just got my braces today, so very sorry. There are certain letters that I'm not good at pronouncing, like my S and my F. So, sorry about that, but else, everything should be normal. Let's get right into it. What if Naruto is from a God Clan Part 5? Let's go. When hearing the explosion of the Hokage Tower, Naruto immediately went up to investigate. However, he didn't have to use the entrance or the normal door. He could see right through the building. Half the floor where the Hokage would usually be residing was completely gone. The walls ripped apart, thrown at the floor in individual pieces of rock. The floor teared up, even slightly charred, as it was made out of wood. In the middle of the remaining floor was stood Danzo, leader of the Root, facing off Hiruzen, whose clothes were somewhat ripped, but still stood right in front of Danzo. They stared each other down, though Danzo started to speak, started to demand a response from Hiruzen. Danzo was acclaiming that Hiruzen was the one who had knocked out and stole from the Root's Anbu. Hiruzen denied all claims, though Danzo stayed persistent. He didn't believe a word that Hiruzen said. They had always had a rivalry, and Danzo thought that this was the ploy for Hiruzen to have one of his henchmen disguise themselves as a Root and take down the entire organization. It was the last straw, and Danzo was prepared for a battle for control of the Leaf Village. Naruto watched this unfold as he knew he was the reason that this was happening in the first place, so he should probably fix it. Especially now being a shinobi, it was his duty to protect the village. Naruto didn't want to wait around until Danzo gives a whole speech and waits for Hiruzen's response, so he's gonna act right now. He rushed over and kicked Hiruzen to his side. Not really because he was the problem in this conflict, he just wanted to hit people for some reason. No, but in all honesty, it was to save Hiruzen, as there was going to be an absolute massacre that was about to go on. Packing out his taijutsu, Naruto went in for Danzo and started fighting. His eyes tracking Danzo's every move, and time seemed to slow down more and more. Naruto's eyes seemed to start glowing more and more. They turned into a bright turquoise, then into a more bluish tone, though still very light. Like the Tensegan, but glowing more. Glaring like a Sharingan in its prime. As if a blue flame was being fought inside Naruto's eyes. However, the abilities that this allowed Naruto to give and use were incredible. Naruto's eyesight far surpassed that of the Sharingan or even the Tensegan. Naruto had a cloak appear shortly after, also a similar color, turquoise, and rings as well as Tomoe appear in his eyes. The other one getting a circle inside of the eyes without Tomoe or the other circles. So one eye had Tomoe in circles, the other had just one big circle in the middle. One representing the Tensegan and Byakugan, the other the Rinnegan and Sharingan. And Naruto's hands start to change as well. His entire body did. It morphed more and more. Naruto became taller, more muscular, well built, had a more lean aesthetic to him, and his facial expression changed. He became serious, with the look of an old man, an experienced warrior at the same time. Naruto started fighting as if he'd fought many battles before, using his new eyes perfectly, using every ability he had, fighting at the speed of an absolute professional. However, Danzo was not the only problem. Not only did Naruto now realize that Danzo had many tricks up his sleeve, including a lot of Mangekyo Sharingans hidden inside his arm, as well as his quote-unquote lost or broken eye, but also many of the Root's Anbu started rushing the village and especially the Hokage area, and a civil war broke out inside the Leaf Village, and Naruto would be the one to save everyone. He rushed across the village in a zoom, killing many shinobi, though only Anbu, the roots Anbu, were killed. He left Danzo alone for a while as he had grabbed Hiruzen to get him away from Danzo, as he knew Hiruzen would likely be killed in this encounter, if he was left to his own. However, even whilst fighting, Naruto's power seemed to increase more and more, as the reason suddenly popped into his head. He didn't know why, he never even thought about it, but it was right there. Naruto gets more powerful the prouder he is. The God Clan is a humble but also very proud clan, which is why their power increases as they become more and more proud, which is why the king and queen are actually the most powerful. And Naruto, being more and more confident in his power, especially while starting to fight, became more and more powerful, having an exponential increase at the beginning of his battle, but even increasing now, seeing that he is demolishing the entire Leaf Village. Naruto had perfect vision, a 3 Tomoe Sharingan, 1 Rinnegan, a Tenseigan with its cloak, and physical prowess, and much, much more. His speed at this point not even being rivaled by Minato himself, as he ripped through the entire route and killed Danzo effectively. And he would need to kill Danzo a few more times, but finally, Danzo was done for, and the route had completely been annihilated, each and every member. But that wasn't enough. Naruto was feeling up to it. So, he went to the forest, searching for something. A load of information popped into his head as every person that he killed, he got that information. And as Danzo was one of them, he got information about a hideout of the Akatsuki. And he knew that they would be the most important threat to the Leaf Village, probably for the next few decades, which is why he would have to eliminate them now. He went, and with the insane speed he still had, he went to the Akatsuki, who were having a meeting at the moment, and annihilated each and every member. Kisame, Itachi, Pain, Konan, Hidan, Kakuzu. None of them were a problem. Sasori, Deidara, and Black Zetsu, well, they weren't even an issue. Naruto destroyed each and every one of them, finding their weakness and annihilating them in a matter of seconds, not even needing to use any hand signs, as at this point, he could use any jutsu he longed for without hand signs. And he eliminated Black Zetsu, as after killing all the Akatsuki, he found out about Zetsu, as yes, he does gain all the memories of every person he kills, and he can skim through them in an instant, knowing all that they know, and experiencing all that they had experienced in their lifetime. So now, after having killed many dozen people, he's wiser than any one person, stronger than any one person, and more experienced than any one person. He is truly a legend. Naruto goes back to the village, but he's not complete yet. He does a summoning jutsu, once again, without any hand signs, and multiple people pop out. First is Kushina Uzumaki. Second is Minato Namikaze. He didn't need their DNA. He was able to do it, just like this. And they were completely alive. Not reanimated. They were actually alive. As with his Rinnegan, he was able to completely revive them using the King of Hell. And with his immense chakra, he didn't even take any damage or have any lashback at reviving 2 people out of the blue. And then Naruto calmed down, being opened with the arms of his mother. The person that, even though she had just met her son 12 years since the last time, which was the time that she died, she loved him. And Minato did too. So, after this day, which changed the entire world forever, Naruto's parents would change the village as well. They made a complete reform of the village, thanked Hiruzen for what he did, completely shamed the entire shinobi forces, especially Jiraiya and Kakashi, who knew of Naruto and knew who he was or who he should be, yet hated him even more. Minato became Hokage, and after a while, he would take over, or rather, give the role to Naruto, as Naruto was wise, a wiser man than even Minato himself, more experienced and more powerful by far. And then, when he felt fully accomplished, Naruto got one more memory along with a power. The memory showed him his life on the omni-clan's planet, where he grew up for a long time, where he was born and blessed by the king and queen. And it was this blessing that made him even more powerful than he would have been, and made his proudness stronger than it would have ever been. And by getting back this memory, he also got a power to travel across the universe and get back to his planet safely, where he was greeted by his parents once more. And the only reason he got this power was because the omni-clan's king had put a seal on that power of Naruto's, as it was taught to him as one of the first things. It was a necessity for the omni-clan, but it was sealed away, and the only thing that Naruto could do to get it back was establish peace on his new planet, which he now did. So he got a key back, the key to his powers and his memories. He was greeted back on his planet and lived happily ever after.